Well, hey, the Scent of the Road haunts. And I'll be honest, unpopular opinion, I didn't actually hate Lowe's last year. Which I know may sound a little insane, but I genuinely thought they were kind of cool. Of course, they were dwarfed by Spirit and Home Depot. And sure, as things came out, they might have been on the lower end of the lineup. Some of their things may have come out to be a little disappointing, but oh well. But this year, we got some of their leaks, and we got some text leaks before, which I didn't talk about, and I really won't be talking about, because whatever. It's just text. I usually like to talk more about pictures and stuff, especially considering how easily text can be faked. We got some new leaks of images of their props. They're pretty damn cool, to say the least. So yeah, I'll be talking about that here. Okay, so the first one here is a pretty neat one. The Boat Captain. I think. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm just going to call it the Boat Captain because he's a captain of a boat. And I must say, maybe it's the lighting, but this guy actually looks really neat. I don't think I'd be getting any of these, mainly because I think Lowe's has pretty much become American exclusive, so they're pretty hard to get now. I know it's possible. It's definitely possible, but yeah, for me that'll be pretty tricky. But yeah, this guy I also don't think I'd get, not because he's bad, because he's not bad in the slightest. Depends. We'll see what he does. But he is really cool. I do love to see ocean props, because especially I'm a big fan of like H.P. Lovecraft, Call of Cthulhu stuff. So seeing them do stuff in that kind of vein is really cool. Depends though. We get a full blown like Cthulhu squid monster. Woo. Also, something funny to mention is it seems like maybe Hauntformer did his haunt a little too early, because these guys would fit perfectly into Port Chun. But yeah, sorry for me to just be rambling. But yeah, the lighting on this guy looks really cool. His detail and clothing actually looks really solid, especially, and this is a really strange thing to say, but his hat is really cool. He has the wheel, obviously, which will probably, like, turn, kind of. Maybe his mouth will move, I don't know. I'm not sure who he's made by, because he looks a little too good to be Jemmy, but I don't know if he'd be SVI, so they either got Jemmy to leg up, or they just brought in SVI. Either one is pretty good. But yeah, this guy's pretty neat. I'm happy to see them doing something like him. The next one here is the 12-foot tall Bone Collector. Now, I must say, I've gotten a little sick of 12-footers, right? I feel like they could maybe take a little bit of a sit down. And I only really like 12-footers if they're doing something really creative for the concept. Now, that being said, I do feel like this guy does something fairly creative with the whole thing. Sure, he might have been pretty cool if he was like just ground level, like 6 feet tall. But with him being like a giant ethereal gravedigger holding that skeleton, which sure looks kind of cheap, like it looks like a small Sunstar thing. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure in person this is like pose and stay sized. This guy's actually really cool. I must say the decorating or the like detailing on his clothes is really good. His face looks great. Like I like that he's not just having a standard like spooky smile, but in fact actually even a little bit of a frown. He's genuinely pretty creepy. His hat's pretty cool. I do like the skeleton. Maybe he'll move a bit. You know, he's got the big shovel. He's pretty much Graveyard Host if Graveyard Host was better. And honestly, I mean, I can see why some people might not like this guy, but I think he's pretty cool. Would I get him? No. Also, I don't think I could. I've said that before. But he is definitely a pretty cool prop. It seems like we're getting a fair few Gravediggers this year. Like, we got this one. We got the one from Morris. It would be very predictable if Home Depot were to do one, because they do love their Gravediggers. And who knows? Maybe Spirit will give us one. And if they do, it could be pretty neat. You know, last year it was kind of like Wendigoon thing, or Wendigoon. Last year it was kind of Wendigo things, and like, you know, Leatherface. So who knows? Maybe this year the theme will be Gravediggers. which is honestly pretty cool. I like Gravediggers, and it's really cool to see human props from these companies. Like, I feel like we've gotten past the point of, like, crazy cartoony clowns. And if we go back to more human type, like, gravediggers, murderers, maybe doctors, then, oh boy, we would be hitting a really, really good era in the Halloween industry. But yeah, this guy is pretty cool. I do definitely like him. And I'd love to see what he does. So, this next one here is this witch. She is actually really cool. Yeah. I've heard rumors that she's apparently servo. Don't quote me on that. I don't know where those rumors came from. But maybe she won't be. But even if she isn't, she still looks really cool. She appears to have something in her hand, her right one, like kind of heart or something. But the left is this staff, which looks absolutely hideous in the best way possible. It has that detailing of, I don't know if it's bones or even better, like bugs and worms. That would be really cool. She has the red thing hanging off the staff. Not sure what that is. Kind of looks like a chili pepper. But her face is super well detailed. Her clothing isn't the best, but it's still neat. But yeah, her face looks cool. She has genuinely a really unsettling smile. Like, like Lethal Lily kind of has a goofy look. Cauldroness is... I mean, I like the Cauldroness, but you've seen the memes. But she genuinely has a really devious-looking smile, and I quite like that. Like, she looks genuinely evil. She's servo. I feel like maybe, again, don't quote me on this, maybe she could have turning eyes. Maybe. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of witches, but that's usually because they're done really cheesily. Like the ones that are like Over the Cauldron and Doyle Toil, Double and Trouble. I totally messed that up, but you get what I mean. Like, they're pretty cheesy and dull and boring, but when they're done right, boy, are they good. They had the 8-foot one from last year, which, I'll be honest, was pretty neat. Not a lot of people like her, but I thought she was a pretty cool one. But this one looks really good. She has that classic Halloween feel to her, which I like, but there's still enough about her to make her cool and unique. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see what she'll do. And last, but definitely not least, we have the Diver. Who I must say, when I first saw in a community post by GM Haunts, I was like, he's kind of neat. But he just gets a wee bit cooler every time I look at him. He just gets a little cooler every time I see him. And I think out of the ones we've seen, it's hard to say because these are 4 really good ones. This could maybe be the best of the 4. Granted, I don't know. All of them have their perks. All of them are cool. But, like, man, this guy would have gone so well in Spirit Halloween 2019. But he's essentially the Exterminator Underwater Edition. And that is really damn cool. Like, he probably won't fog, but he has the spear. I don't know, this might sound stupid, maybe it'll shoot out. But even if he just turns side to side or looks side to side, that's honestly enough, because the detail for this guy is amazing. His helmet looks great. The skull is honestly a pretty cool touch. It might have been a little creepier if he was just completely, like, the skull wasn't there and it was just black. But even so, you could probably unplug that. But I'm interested to hear what his audio will be like. The seaweed on him is an amazing detail. And he seems to be pretty big. At the very least 6 feet tall, maybe 7. But it's also just really cool to see them doing a vintage diver. Because I remember they're just so creepy looking. I remember, and this will sound silly, when I was a kid watching one of the SpongeBob movies, there was this diver who I remember being actually very eerie and freaking me out quite a bit. Granted, I was like 6, no need to make fun of me, but yeah. Like, seeing them doing a vintage diver is really cool. He's got, like, the rust on the helmet and stuff. This is a really cool one. I'm glad to see them doing some really original stuff here. And, yeah, I'm excited to see what else Lowe's has. We got some name leaks, which they didn't look the best. There was one for some kind of, like, handstanding clown, which seemed pretty cool. I'm curious to see what that would be. Something tells me it might be like really cheap Jemmy or something like that. But I don't know. They had some more Reaper band members. Those seemed kind of okay. And they also had a Wednesday Addams, which is a little... I don't know about that one. But yeah, Lowe's this year seems to be bringing some serious competition to the table. And so yeah, let me know what you thought of these in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one.